On this day, Michael Morbius rented a helicopter to set a trap in the forest. After landing, he instructed to place the trap at the mouth of the cave. The pilot responded, "Do you need a doctor?" Michael replied, "I'm a doctor," then added, "It's impressive, don't you think? Vampire bats weigh is almost nothing, but they can take down creatures more than 10 times their size." Michael stands before the trap and gently cuts his hand, letting his blood flow toward the trap and the cave. As the bats catch the scent of the blood, they begin to rattle and screech, rushing toward it. But before we continue, let's delve into the captivating backstory. 25 years ago in a hospital, Dr. Nicholas introduces a new patient to Michael named Lucian, though Michael affectionately calls him Milo. Milo asks Michael how long he has been in the hospital and why he hasn't been cured. Michael explains that there is no cure because something is missing in their DNA and they must stay in the hospital to survive. They both share a longing to be normal. As they continue talking, Milo suddenly faints when the blood transfusion machine stops. Michael calls for a nurse, but there's no response. In a moment of desperation, he tries to fix the machine using the spring from his ballpoint pen. Miraculously, his efforts succeed, and the machine starts working again. As a result, Milo gradually regains consciousness. Later, Dr. Nicholas is amazed by Michael's ability and praises him for it. The doctor discusses the possibility of sending him to a school in New York designed for gifted students. Before agreeing, Michael asks the doctor to promise that he will take care of Milo. When Michael leaves the hospital, he leaves a message for Milo. "I will find a cure for us, and don't worry, I will be back." Michael Morbius completes his doctorate by 19 and quickly establishes himself as the world's leading authority on blood-borne diseases. He develops artificial blood and saves lives. Now Michael is working as a doctor in the hospital. She is Dr. Martin, his close colleague at the hospital. She suspects that Michael is remixing his DNA with that of bats, but he refuses to discuss it with her because he doesn't understand her concerns. This leads to a heated argument, and then he suddenly has an idea. If they can splice vampire genes into their DNA, it might allow their bodies to produce the same anticoagulants, potentially leading to a cure for their illness. He quickly prepares a test to explore this possibility.
It would be a cure.
When the test is ready,
Test subject for cell combination.
Michael injects it into a mouse. Initially, the mouse screams and falls to the side, leading them to believe they've failed. However, after a few minutes, Martin realizes that the mouse is not dead,
Michael,
and excitedly informs Michael that the experiment worked. The next day, filled with joy, Michael meets Milo and tells him they are close to finding a cure. He emphasizes that he is taking this risk for their lives. Finally, Michael prepares for the experiment, and Martin is ready to inject the serum into him. After the injection, Michael asks her to tie his hands. She complies and then leaves the room. Just then, a guard passes by. Martin tells him to leave, but he laughs and ignores her. Suddenly, Martin realizes that Michael is missing. She rushes back into the room and is shocked to see that he has transformed into something strange. She warns the guard not to shoot, but when he does, Michael attacks him. Martin quickly runs out and locks the door behind her. Scared, Martin calls out to Michael, pleading with him to stop. When he turns to look at her, a chill runs down her spine. She shouts again for him to stop, but he is out of control. striking himself with the glass in anger. At that moment, more guards arrive, and when Martin tries to intervene, they push her aside. Finally, Michael shatters the glass. Upon seeing Martin, becomes furious. He launched an attack. With his new vampiric power, moves faster than a bullet, and kills the guards without mercy, demonstrating his extraordinary agility, strength, and relentless determination. Few guards run away and lock the door. But this door can't stand in his way. Once more, he crawls along the ceiling, taking pleasure in killing and capturing the guards one by one, taking them down until they are all defeated. After several hours, Michael regains consciousness and finds himself back to normal. Though better than before. He is surprised by what he sees and struggles to remember anything. Later, he checks the security footage and is overwhelmed by the shocking events he cannot recall. Realizing the gravity of his actions, he calls emergency services for help and ultimately escapes the ship.
Hello? Who's there?
Leave a comment for part 2 if you love the story. To see the rest of this fascinating tale, be sure to subscribe to Magical Moments HD. More exciting segments and detailed movie explanations and summaries are waiting for you on our channel. The Magical Moments HD have only just begun.